This is Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation. Here is the news edited by Lal Mallavarachi and read by J. Yogaraj. First, the headlines. The President says government will write to private creditors this week about the present economic situation of the country. Colombo Harbour will be developed with more facilities for tourists. An amnesty period for 1 month granted to attract foreign currency. The deadline for calling applications from candidates for the 2022 GC Advanced Level Examination extended. The government's aim is to generate 9,000 megawatts using renewable energy sources by 2030. News overseas, the UN chief holds talks with Ukrainian and Turkish presidents. Those are the headlines. President Ranil Wickremesinghe says the government will write to private creditors this week and inform them about the present economic situation of the country. Speaking to The Economist magazine, he said that the government will restructure the loss-making government ventures. When asked what are the state-owned enterprises that can be restructured, he said that apart from Sri Lankan Airlines, Sri Lanka Insurance, Sri Lanka Telecom, many are there. When questioned that the trade unions will be very hostile to restructuring, he said he does not worry about unions. What matters is people. People are going to stand it if they think things can get better. Mr. Wickremesinghe also said the government will have to raise taxes such as a tax on capital, tax on wealth. The tax net has to be widened and that will bring some of the lost revenue. The President said that beginning of 2023 will be tough, but the ending will be better. If the revenue keeps coming in the next 3 months, then the end will be better. Steps will be taken to enhance facilities at the passenger terminal of the Colombo Harbour. Minister Nimal Silpa De Silva said that the aim is to provide necessary facilities for foreign tourists who are arriving in the country. During an inspection tour of the Colombo Harbour yesterday, he said that the arrival of cruise ships has stopped due to the COVID pandemic and economic crisis. He said the project to enhance facilities at the harbour will be implemented targeting the forthcoming tourism season. Measures will be taken to provide a resting hall with modern facilities, sanitary facilities, a duty-free shopping complex and transport. The Minister of Finance has issued an order granting an amnesty period of 1 month with effect from August 15th in order to attract foreign currency held with the public into the banking system. Accordingly, the amnesty period will be granted for the people within or resident in Sri Lanka who hold foreign currency notes in possession. They can deposit them into a personal foreign currency account or a business foreign currency account as specified in the order as applicable. They can also sell them to an authorized dealer such as a licensed commercial bank or national savings bank. Further information regarding the matter can be accessed by contacting any licensed commercial bank or national savings bank. This news comes to you from Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation. The deadline for calling applications for candidates for the 2022 GCE Advanced Level Examination has been extended. Commissioner General of the Examinations, LMD Dharmasena, says the due date for submitting applications has been extended until August 26th. He said the special opportunity was granted only to the candidates who had received the results of 2021 A-level examination to apply for the examination. The Elections Commission will be entrusted with powers to decide on conducting the local government elections after 20th of September. Chairman of the Commission, Nimal Punchiheva, says that the local government election has already been postponed by 1 year. He said the Elections Commission does not agree to postpone the elections. Chairman of the Renewable Energy Source Authority, Ranjit Sepala, says the government's aim is to generate 9,000 megawatts using renewable energy sources by 2030. 70% of the entire power generation will be renewable energy source by that time. Hydropower, wind power, solar power and several other renewable energy sources will be encouraged in the coming years. And that's local news.
The main news story is brought to you by Siddhalepa Veda Mahatmya.
The government has planned to expedite purchasing of paddy from areas where the harvesting is taking place. Minister Mahinda Amravira says purchasing of the paddy island-wide has already commenced. He pointed out that although certain persons act according to political and personal objectives, what they should do is to join to build the country. Meanwhile, the Paddy Marketing Board has opened 55 storage complexes to purchase paddy at present. Harvesting of paddy in the Yala season has ended in some districts, while harvesting is taking place in several more districts. The Paddy Marketing Board has decided to purchase paddy at a fair price. Accordingly, a kilogram of Nadu paddy will be purchased for 120 rupees, a kilogram of Samba paddy for 120 rupees, and a kilogram of Kiri Samba for 130 rupees. And that's top news.
The main news story was brought to you by Siddhalepa Vedamahatmya.
Watch Life is brought to you by
A Strength to Your Life. CIB Janajaya Vasana has commenced. Valuable gifts and all bills are on 31st of October. Come to CIB today.
The State Pharmaceuticals Manufacturing Corporation refuting allegations about the launching of 3 drugs currently being manufactured locally. Chairman Utpala Indravansa says that the event was organized to mark the issuance of 3 drugs to private sector pharmacies. The event of releasing levothyroxine 50 mcg for thyroxine deficiency, omeprazole 20 mg capsule for preventing gastric acidity, and mefenamic acid 500 milligrams tablets for pain relief to the open market was held recently at the SPMC premises in Ratmalana under the patronage of the Health Minister Kelly Rambukwella. And that was Watchlight.
A Strength to Your Life. CIB Janajaya Vasana has commenced. Valuable gifts and all bills are on 31st of October. Come to CIB today.
Moving on to world news headlines, the UN chief holds talks with the Ukrainian and Turkish presidents. Fish tested amid Yemen COVID outbreak. And Japanese fashion pioneer Hana Mori dies at 96. And those are the headlines. UN Secretary General Antonio Guterres is in Ukraine for talks with Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky and Turkish President Recep Tayyip Erdogan today. Guterres arrived in the western Ukrainian city of Lviv yesterday. He and Zelensky are expected to discuss the safety of Zaporizhia nuclear plant in southeastern Ukraine. Concern has been heightening as attacks continue around the largest nuclear power plant in Europe. More than 5 million people have been ordered to undergo COVID-19 testing in the coastal Chinese city of Xiamen this week, after some 40 cases of virus were detected, but they are not the only ones who have been ordered to get tested. An official notice states that some forms of sea life are also expected to join the latest mass testing drive. Japanese fashion designer Hana Mori, nicknamed Madame Butterfly for her signature winged motifs, has died. She was 96. She died of old age in a Tokyo home on 11th August and was given a private funeral, local media reported. Mori was most famous for being the first Japanese and Asian designer to join the ranks of couture designers in 1977. And that was world news. And moving on to development news, Minister Bandula Gunawardena inspected the housing units which are being constructed currently under the Malapara apartment project in Kottava for the people who have lost their homes due to the Kalani Valley Railway Expansion Project. A program has been implemented under the Ministry of Transport to evict the illegal residents of the railway reserve from Maradana to Paduka and provide them with houses in appropriate places in order to upgrade Kalani Valley Railway Project. And that was development news.
Sports News is brought to you by
Sampath Bank. We present your future.
The National Football League has suspended Deshaun Watson for 11 games without pay and fined him $5 million after an investigation into sexual misconduct allegations against the Cleveland Browns quarterback. Watson was suspended for 6 games earlier this month over 24 sexual misconduct claims, but the league appealed against the ban. And that was sports news.
Cash through NSP globally and win wonderful gifts locally. From October 1st, 2021 to December 31st, 2022. Remit a minimum of $100 or an equivalent amount in any foreign currency 3 times through NSB U Trust.
Business News, sponsored by National Savings Bank, the safest place for your money.
Overall selling prices of apartments in Sri Lanka increased by 45.17%. when compared to June 2021, according to Lanka Property Web's Housing Price Index. Devaluation of the Sri Lanka rupee against the US dollar, which has resulted in shortages of raw materials for construction, which has in turn led to skyrocketing costs of construction and rising interest for housing loans, a report said, and has prevented the construction of the new houses, leading to an increase in the purchase of the houses and apartments. And that was Business News.
Business News, sponsored by
Cash through NSP globally and win wonderful gifts locally. Will you be the lucky winner of the NSP Golden Jubilee? 50 gold sovereigns for the top prize winner of the NSP Golden Jubilee. Scooters for the 10 second prize winners. iPhones for the 10 third prize winners. Mountain bikes for the 29 fourth prize winners. From October 1st, 2021 to December 31st, 2022. Remit a minimum of $100 or an equivalent amount in any foreign currency 3 times through NSB U Trust.
In economic news, the Governor of the Central Bank, Dr. Nandalal Veerasinghe, says the production cost can be controlled by reducing the inflation. He said that the inflation should be reduced to maintain economic activities in a productive manner. During a media briefing yesterday in Colombo, he said that everyone should be committed to achieve local targets by empowering local machinery. And that was economic news. Finally, in the weather report, the Met Department says the showers or thundershowers will occur at several places in central, eastern and north central provinces during the evening or night. A few showers may occur in western and Sabarkamba provinces and in Galle and Mathura districts. And that was weather report. And with that, we conclude. But before we conclude this news broadcast, let's look at the main points once again. The President says the government will write to private creditors this week about the present economic situation of the country. Colombo Harbour will be developed with more facilities for tourists. An amnesty period for 1 month granted to attract foreign currency. The deadline for calling applications from candidates for the 2022 GCE Advanced Level Examination extended. The government's aim is to generate 9,000 megawatts using renewable energy sources by 2030. News overseas, the UN chief holds talks with the Ukrainian and Turkish presidents. And with that, we conclude this morning news podcast of Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation.